Thanks for continuing with us during this off-season edition. Interestingly enough, from time to time, we join former Bisons when they come back to the Nickel City, and it's interesting because one of the three greatest players in Buffalo baseball history happen to be in town today. Jeff Manto, welcome back. And I have to ask you right off the top, what's it like to come back to a ballpark, not only where you had so many great memories, offensively, defensively, etc., but also your number is retired on the wall?
It's something special. It's always been special. From the first day Booch called me to let me know the news that they were going to retire my number. And I come by and I peek at it, and when guys tell me they're going to go up to Buffalo or the Buffalo area, and I tell them to peek at the wall because the number's up there, I really do find it kind of special. And still to this day, when I looked at it yesterday when I came in, it still brings chills because it's what that means is quite significant, and to be a part of that's pretty nice.
Bison fans remember the greatness that you had here, and we just reminisced a little bit about that 1998 season. Many people know the situation. You needed a win in Scranton to move into the playoffs, but really there's a story behind the story with you and former Bison manager Torey Lovullo.
Yeah, what it was is that if we would have won the division, we would have faced Halliday in Syracuse, and we didn't fare very well versus Halliday in Syracuse. We did okay with him in our ballpark because Syracuse, you really couldn't see the ball. On top of being probably the top pitcher in the IL at the time, and not being able to see the ball in Syracuse was not looking good for us. So we're in Syracuse on a Saturday night, and in my heart of hearts, I really didn't mind if we lost or won the ball game because I'm thinking we're trying to set this up, as best as we could. Sure enough, we're down, and it looks like this is we're going to face Halliday. It's in Syracuse. I come up in the top of the eighth inning. I hit a 3-run home run to put us ahead. That being said, we end up winning the division because a tornado goes through Syracuse on Saturday night, and it just knocks everything out in Syracuse. Ironically enough, we win the division because Sunday's games were tornadoed out in Syracuse, and we got rained out. We get by the threat of rain in Scranton, so it worked out perfectly. And we ended up facing Halliday here in Buffalo and ended up beating them. So the story goes on, but inside the clubhouse, we were kind of happy we faced Halliday here.
So many games in your career, and instances like that just have a twist of fate. You have to believe in the baseball gods, don't you?
Yes. It was quite. We knew that when Bob Rich came in, and he said, "Hey guys, this is the team that I think can win this International League." And when Booch came down to the front office and said, Mr. Rich was serious about this, and if anybody knows Bob, he is serious about this baseball, and he lit a fire. It's the first time I've ever seen an owner of a AAA ball club light a fire under a bunch of players. And we had the good leadership with Brian Graham, and the next year with Jeff Datz, and we just picked it up. I never saw collectively 25-year-olds actually trying to win at AAA, and what mattered was winning in AAA, and it was a really good experience.
Has baseball lost some of that drive in the minor league level because so much focus is on the development and eventually getting to the big leagues, which you want to be there when you were a player, and so many young players want to get there as fast as possible? But is there that willingness for collective clubs to drive and go win after win, night after night?
I think there is. I really do think there is, but I think it comes from each town. And what I mean by that is if you walk into a town where it matters if you win, like Buffalo, it matters if you win, and that's portrayed, and it does matter. There are towns throughout minor league baseball where they understand that it is development. Hey, and we'll get better, and this is okay. Just go out there, get better. Your numbers mean something. Then what happens, the selfishness just spreads through the clubhouse. If I get my numbers, I go to the big leagues. Well, okay, I'm going to try to get my numbers. But when winning becomes the utmost importance from the big leagues down, then you start playing AAA baseball just a little bit different. So it depends what organization, and I know here in Buffalo, sometimes it starts from Buffalo up, and because that's how serious they are about winning here. But it depends what system.
Played in the minor leagues, coached in the minor leagues, coached in the major leagues, played in the major leagues. How has baseball travels taught you more specifically after being a player and being able to coach and mentor young men?
I think I've become more patient, and I think through my trials and tribulations of trying to learn how to hit, and the lack of success I had in the minor leagues really taught me to be patient and more down to earth with players when I teach them. My expectations are a little bit more tolerable at the lower levels than they are at the higher levels. But I truly do understand the emotions of what players go through, and I try to let them know that I do know that, hey, it doesn't feel good going 0 for 10. It doesn't feel good being away from home, but yet this is how we deal with it. So I become a more rounded teacher.
And part of the teaching brings you back to Buffalo as well. You're doing the hitting academy here at Coca-Cola Field, and you're also involved in developing young players as well in your new role. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing recently with the Chicago White Sox.
Right now I'm the minor league hitting coordinator with the White Sox, and what that means is I'm in charge of, or along with Buddy Bell and Nick Capra and Greg Walker, who's the major league hitting coach, I'm in charge of making sure the message gets sent to the minor league coaches and the players. It's a very, very, very good job. It's a very important job. It's one that I take extremely serious because if anybody knows the Chicago White Sox, it's all about hitting. And to be given this opportunity to be the head or the head of the hitting department is truly a big responsibility. And it's one that's pretty good because I'm surrounded. Every coach I have and every coordinator I have is a former major league hitter. And so it's quite a good it's really a good responsibility.
The International League, fortunately enough, has a Chicago White Sox affiliate as one of the teams. Do you plan to come through Buffalo this year?
I really do plan to do it. I want to keep on coming back as much as I can. It does count being on the road if I come through Buffalo. Sometimes I get a little lazy and meet the team in Lehigh Valley, but I want to try to get up here and make this run through Western New York again. We'll see how the schedule fits out.
And people don't realize if you were a player and you still live in suburban Philly, just outside of Philadelphia, so that Lehigh Valley trip makes it too easy for you.
Yeah, it does. It's quite a tease, and I get to see the team in Lehigh Valley, then I get to see our A-ball teams in Wilmington and in Lakewood. So I try to get up as much as I can.
All right. We look forward to having you come back to the Nickel City. Jeff Manto, as always, great to have you aboard.
Thank you.